Hi there, my name's Matt. I a couple of days ago was confirmed to have severe sleep apnea. Um, so I was obviously put on a therapy with the CPAP machine, and I thought, given that there was only a few stories about it all on YouTube, that perhaps people might find it helpful to see, the journey that I go on. Um, So to give you a bit of brief information, over the last few years, I felt more and more tired, unable to do normal things, mow the grass, wash up, etc. Um, with that, I've obviously aimed to eat foods that would give me a pretty quick kick in energy. So, a lot of Coke, chocolate bars, things like that. So my BMI went up to about 34, sitting at 31 at the moment. So in real terms, I'm over 16 stone. I should be, according to HS, I should be in the 12 stones, but I look comfortable in the 13s. So I'm going to aim for that, which is another thing that I may document, I may not, where I'm going to push myself to lose weight. But for now, I just thought I'd explain the last couple of days. So the first night was quite hard. I suffered with a lot of panic. I felt suffocated by the mask. It just didn't feel normal, which it's not going to for every person. I emailed the clinic that night, just explaining that I wasn't able to get on with it, and a few changes I felt needed. One was I felt the machine was putting too much pressure at me when I was exhaling, so I felt laboured when breathing out, which didn't help the feeling of suffocation. And the other one, the pressure did feel too high at points, whilst I was still getting used to the machine. So I only managed it the first night for, it was an hour and 40 minutes or something to that effect, and then I just took it off and slept without, and obviously the snoring continued. Last night, on the other hand, with some advice from the hospital and some changes they made remotely on my machine, I tried it for a couple of hours on during the day, which felt okay, but obviously it's always going to feel okay during the day, especially when, obviously any type of panic usually brings anxiety, which generally gets worse at night. I put it on last night. Took a little while. I was fighting anxiety for a while. My brain was still telling me it wasn't happy. I was very clammy, but I kept telling myself, like, I can feel this air coming in. I can feel it. I can feel it. So I know I'm breathing. So I kept just reassuring myself that everything was okay. And it wasn't really the uncomfortableness of the mask. The mask feels okay on the face, even though you can see there are some. I take my glasses off. You'll see there's some red lines this morning, but they'll fade. It's no different when you go skiing. You get mask like goggle marks anyway, so it's no different. So yeah, it wasn't that. The mask on your face, for me anyway, felt warm, felt hot, felt a bit humid, which was something I had to get my head around. So this whole area just felt like it was too hot. But once I could kind of cope with that feeling and sensation, the changes they made really worked. And I did get to sleep. I had bouts of sleeping, so when the pressure built up to the point where it was keeping my airways open, I woke up a few times. I had to reset it because the pressure at that point was too high for me to feel comfortable when I was awake. So I just pressed the button on the top, switched it off, switched it back on again, and carried on. And that happened about 3 times. But obviously the device at the moment's only recorded one event, which was 2 hours. And that 2-hour window, I only had less than one sleep apnea event, which I was having multiples every few minutes. So there's an instant improvement. Do I feel different? It's hard to say because I still have broken sleep, but nowhere near as much. So yeah, perhaps I do feel a bit better. But I'm going to persevere with it. I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's going to work for me, and then hopefully then it'll give me the energy to go back down to the gym and lose the weight, which will help as well. But I thought, if I document things, it might put people at ease that, the things you're feeling or going through, or even you might be leading up to getting a machine, and some of these are the worries that you have already. If I turn the camera around, I'll just show you the machine I've got. So that's it, the ResMed AirSense 10. Works really well. They can remote log in, which is great, and they make changes so you don't have to. I don't need the humidifying part yet, which goes on the right hand side where you see the name. And then you've got a few choices of masks. My one is the full mask, which I'll just show you. It's a bit uncomfortable, but because I've got facial hair, it's probably the best one because it will stop it from coming off my face. So it just sits like this. And it does get a bit of getting used to, but hopefully in the next couple of days I should be able to update you and say that I'm much happier, and hopefully with some updates on how I feel energy-wise. I don't know whether I'm going to start uploading these videos one at a time or whether I do a big bulk. I've never really done this before, but I thought when I was looking the other day, I didn't see a huge amount of real stories, so I'm kind of hoping that perhaps someone might take some good from hearing my story. So, speak to you soon.